hear from another Yonkers grad, a dynamite of a young woman, and I love her hair. She's going to Washington, so we're going to have to go to lunch when you're in Washington one of these days. Please welcome a graduate of Roosevelt heading to American University this fall, Jamika Holmes.
First and foremost, good morning, and thank you for all of your stories, and congratulations on your successes. And administrators, welcome back to real life. My name is Jamika Holmes, and I'm a recent graduate and a full-blown product of Yonkers Public Schools, attending Cedar Place Elementary under the administration of Ms. Delaney, finishing Palisade Preparatory School with the great Yerzullo, and lastly, graduating Roosevelt High School with Uncle DeChamp. I hope everyone's summer was great and peaceful because relaxation time is over. Assuming everyone in here has been an administrator or teacher at some point in their careers, I trust that you all understand the extreme dedication that goes into creating a good school. Roosevelt had been considered a failing school for many years, and the constant switching of administrators and teachers did not help. But luckily, 3 years ago, it seemed the school's luck had changed. Upon our return from Christmas break, we were faced with yet another new principal, Edward DeChamp. Call me biased because I loved my principal, but I feel that once he became principal, Roosevelt did a complete 360. I chose to attend Roosevelt. It was number one on my ballot, although many students that attend Roosevelt seem to be dumped, for lack of a better word. So you hear a lot of kids complaining, and you hear a lot of, I don't have to do this because I did not choose to come here. And these sort of negative comments reveal the truth. Unfortunately, there are a lot of kids, elementary, middle, and even high school, who haven't yet fully grasped the purpose of school. I feel like your jobs as administrators is not only to supervise, lead, and direct the school according to the school curriculum and specific instructional objectives, but also to enlighten your students on what is expected as children and young adults once we are faced with life outside of the walls of your schools. Yonkers is full of diversity: Spanish kids, Black kids, Arabic, Russian, and the list goes on, and each student brings something different to the table. Some of the cultural differences may include clothing choices or customs regarding greetings or eye contact. Other students may seem to act out in disrespectful ways, but I would implore you to respect the diversity of Yonkers by trying to understand where each kid is coming from and try to meet them where they are. That way we can truly celebrate the diversity and find ways to make Yonkers great instead of getting hung up on punitive measures that stem from lack of mutual respect. Yonkers is filled with a lot of bright students who don't know until it's too late. And the reason my principal has such a special place in my heart is because when I was a freshman, he inadvertently inspired me. I had gotten into a conflict that could have went in many different directions, and he, as an assistant principal at the time, spoke to me as if I was his equal. I was 14 years old, and I knew he was my superior, but he spoke to me with understanding, never talking down to me, and explaining how he came from similar circumstances as I do, and how he was on one path and his brothers were on another, and that the real choice came down to himself. I've had many different influences in my life, and this simple, not even 2-minute conversation has stuck with me since my freshman year, and I feel like it has driven me through my trials and triumphs at Roosevelt. A lot of the kids have significant influences, whether it be at home, in a club, or right in the halls or classrooms of your buildings. Don't let these kids fool you. Many have beyond the needed potentials to succeed, just not the right push or inspiration. Expect to be challenged in ways you did not think possible, and feel free to do more than what you were paid for. The real pay will come when you know that you helped that kid walk across that stage during his or her senior year. I can only speak for myself and attempt to justify the consideration of other students throughout the district. For me, school was my second home. It was by no coincidence. It was a safe place where I could be myself, and the environment, and the environment was geared towards self-improvement and positive goal-oriented educational enrichment. But I did not fully realize this until I reached my high school career. So I ask that you are all patient and even more considerate of your students when they seem to be on that very last nerve. And when you feel like a parrot because you continue to repeat yourself to the same faces, just remember some of the complex circumstances that majority of your students are faced with and may not quite yet understand themselves. I am a product of Yonkers Public Schools, but I am also a product of Yonkers. I have been faced with many struggles which have helped form me into the young lady that I am today. And although many of my circumstances I have come to terms with alone, I was also provided with a great support system from my high school staff and administrators that is irreplaceable. Roosevelt became my home away from home. I rose to leadership in my school, becoming the president of my class, the vice president of my school's PTA, and served as captain for 2 years on 2 varsity teams. I have siblings, extended family, and know many students from your schools, and I hope that they see me as an example, and I trust that you all will provide a safe zone of learning and comfort for them. I will be attending American University in the fall to study political science and creative writing. I will be leaving for DC in a countdown of 4 days, but I will not ever forget where I started. I wish you all success and achievement amongst your schools and personal lives, and I hope that you take all of our words and digest them as your school year commences.
We do work with the grittiest children of them all.